So,
I'm Victoria, also known as PinkPantheress. Yeah, I'm 20 years old. Why am I saying my age? Like, that's a weird thing to say.
you're 20 years old.
I'm 20. People think I'm a lot younger.
I'm B, known as Beabadoobee. I'm 21. People also mistake me as a 14-year-old. Always get ID'd.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's peak. How have you been the last few months? What have you been up to?
I've been good. I've been really great. I've been finishing up uni. Been living in halls at the moment.
Oh my god, how's that?
It's okay. It's so okay.
Okay.
Everyone thinks that living in halls is like parties every day, but because of COVID,
It's not.
it's not party. It's
Okay.
literally the opposite. It's almost like jail.
Are you a big raver? Do you like...
No, I'm not. I went
Really?
to my first rave was this year.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, not sick. I didn't like it.
Oh, you
know
hate
what?
it?
I just think that I'm not, and it sounds so bad because like, well, how can you like D&B and jungle and not go to raves? It's like, you can, because I feel like you do need to be a kind of a specific type of person to enjoy a rave.
Yeah.
And I don't drink, don't really do any of the drugs. So
The drugs.
I'm not saying you have to, but I'm saying it probably helps when you go to a rave.
Yeah.
Just don't do
fair.
it.
So do you like parties?
I love parties. I see, this is the thing. Raves and parties are different because raves, it's like,
You have to like...
yeah.
It's like kind of like intense.
You can't be 0, you have to be 100 every
Yeah.
time. Party, you can like sit down. I said this the other day to someone, I was like, at parties, I genuinely think I spend about 2 hours each party I go to talking to someone I don't know.
It's good,
It's the best
socialization.
place to socialise.
Yeah, and it's like
Best.
meet new people.
New people.
I wish it was that. I just end up just getting a bit too...
You're a
fucked.
great partier.
I just
If you
think
didn't know that, you're great. You're seriously
thank you.
good.
I feel like I'm just embarrassed. I feel like it's just a constant like embarrassment for me when I'm
Don't
at a
ever think
party.
that.
It's just like I wake up the next morning I'm like, why did I do that?
Don't
Like,
ever think
why
that.
did I?
Don't think that. You're great vibes.
Have you got a musical background? Like when did you start making music? Tell me your story.
My mum made me do piano when I was like, I want to say 7, 8.
7.
So I could kind of play the piano up until a certain point, and then I kind of gave up because I was like, I don't like grades, and I could read music. Can you read music?
I used to. This sucks so bad. So I used to read music
Yeah.
really easily. I remember like I played violin for like 7 years, and then like I went out of school for a reason, and then I studied in the Philippines, and all I did was like play violin and did like loads of QMon, and like because my mom was like super strict, she was like, let's like transcribe like all the notes, so as soon as you get to London, you just like know the whole Suzuki book, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. So I like did the whole, I read the whole thing, whatever, and I've just completely forgotten how I did that. Like I just don't know how to do that.
Such a shame.
It's a shame.
Such a shame. But that's so impressive though. I didn't know you played violin.
Yeah, I don't know, playing violin. I
Okay.
can't play again. I just.
Oh, you can't?
I feel like it's a thing where like you just have to keep on practicing.
So true. Same with piano, kind of.
Yeah.
Although it is muscle memory as well.
You can still play piano,
Can
just
still
a
play
bit.
a little
Like
bit. Maybe like the odd chopsticks. You know, classic.
that's all you need.
That's all you need, really.
What made you focus on like D&B with like the music you make and like jungle?
I've just been around a lot of people growing up that listen to it, and I've always loved it. I've always loved kind of being at a party and being able to just dance to it is just great. Because there are some songs that come on at a party where you feel you have to sing along to the lyrics and stuff. But D&B don't.
long.
It's long. Don't.
It's long.
Mouthing words is so long. What if you get the words wrong? So embarrassing.
So why did you move to London?
I moved to London for uni, and that was in October. So I'm quite fresh to
okay.
the London scene.
What's like your favourite place in London to go to?
West London. Wait, hold on. No, you're
Love
gonna
that.
have to educate
I got
me.
gas for a second.
You're gonna have to educate me. Is Kensal Rise?
Yeah.
West?
Yeah.
Okay, I like Kensal Rise. Don't ask me why. Just like it.
I just like the name. It
I just like the name.
sounds.
I like being there. This is great.
It's nice vibes in Kensal Rise.
It's seriously nice, and Westfield as well.
Westfield.
Either the Stratford one or the Shepherd. We
Do
were
you like
just
being in the
thinking about
shopping?
it. I
Really,
love
in the
it.
shopping mall?
I love malls.
Really?
Love
Oh my god,
them.
I kind of respect that because every time I ask people because of my parents like going to malls because they're Filipino and like malls are like a big
Classic,
thing.
yeah.
Like let's go to mall.
Yeah.
And then it's like great to people watch. I've realised like
Fantastic.
sitting by like, the balcony and just like watching everyone.
You could literally, if you wanted to, well, I don't know why you would. You could live in a mall. You could live in
Low
it.
key, yeah.
Have you seen the
You
terminal?
could sleep in the mall.
Have you seen the terminal?
What? The terminal? The
film?
movie? No.
with Tom Hanks. He lives in an
Oh
airport.
my god, I haven't watched that. I usually know every single
should.
Tom Hanks film.
Oh, Tom Hanks specific. Why?
Because I love Tom.
He's actually such a G, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a G. And like, I've got this shrine in my bedrooms, all that.
What, for Tom Hanks?
Yeah, mate, he's a babe. What's your like favorite film? Because I know you study film.
I do. Good memory. My favourite film was Battle Royale.
Oh, really?
Yeah, have you seen it?
Okay, I know it because like Soren chats about it all the time.
Oh, do you see? He knows.
Yeah, obviously.
He
No,
knows.
but he's like a massive film buff. It's actually quite jarring.
Okay, we must speak on Battle Royale. That's my favourite film.
Yeah, you can have conversations with him. He loves his films. Who's your favorite like director?
Oh my god, don't ask me that.
Is it hard?
I like Richard Linklater.
I don't know who that is. He's like.
Do you know Richard?
Yeah.
You definitely know Richard. Of course he does. It was the nod.
It's the nod. He's like.
Richard Linklater. He made Dazed and Confused. Have you seen it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, classic film.
Oh wow.
Classic. It's a gem. He's great.
I like movies.
What's your favourite film?
It was like, but I'm a cheerleader for a good while because that was jokes.
Never even heard.
It's so fun.
of
It's like,
that.
so these like, this gay girl gets sent to like straight camp and like RuPaul's the guy.
Shut up.
It's like, it's
How
so
have I missed
funny.
that? How-
It's
in my
so
20
good.
years, how have I
You'd
missed
love it. So what is the process of like your songwriting, like how you make your music?
It's quite bootleg. It's quite normal.
Bootleg.
It's quite bootleg. It's just like I say this all the time, but I use Garageband still.
We love
it's-
that. So all the music, so all like the snippets you post on like TikTok.
That's from Garageband.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my days. So like,
straight off the Garageband
it's so
software.
sick.
Yeah.
How did that Goldlink collab come about?
So random. I got a message from Goldlink and I was shook because I've been a Goldlink fan for quite a number of years.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, yeah, I'm going to the studio on this day, come along. I was like, okay. I was so shook. I had no idea why I was going, but I was like, I'm gonna go. I want to meet Goldlink. So I brought my friends as well. Took many videos, many pictures, obviously, because we're baked like that. He goes, I've got a beat. I listened to the beat. He's like, yeah, do you want to drop something on it? And I was like,
Oh my
not really, I'm
days.
scared. But I did.
I'm scared.
I literally was terrified. I was like, okay, first time in the studio, so I just did it. Just kind of put down the vocals
So you wrote the lyrics there.
there and then. I don't know how long it took, but it was, yeah. I felt like I was on a timer. I remember being in the thing, I was like, oh god,
You need to get it
I
done.
need to deliver, I can't look bad for Goldlink. They ended up using it for the album.
Oh, that sounds sick.
Yeah, listen to the album, it's great. It's great.
Have you had that same experience with like other artists where you're like, oh my god?
What, just shook?
Yeah, just shook. Like gas.
Oh, definitely, I had that with you, babe. Had that with you. First time I met you, I was like, is that Beabadoobee? Because did I tell you I've got a friend that loves you, has always loved you. I remember ages ago when you must have been on like, I don't know, 10k followers.
Oh
Showed
my
me your gram.
days.
She always used to show me your gram. Be like,
I don't even know if I was even doing music then.
this was at the beginning of your music career, I think. Because I remember she goes,
Oh yeah, I think
this
it
girl's
was.
so pretty. And I was like, yeah, she is. And she goes, yeah, I think she's just starting to do music. It's like quite nice acoustic stuff. And I was like, okay. You and your guitar bag, love it, love to see it.
It's always bizarre. I remember meeting Robert Smith from The Cure, and like I touched him on the shoulder like this. I'm leaking some information here. So I touched him on the shoulder like this because it was like after the Enemy Awards, and I like played She Plays Bass, like completely Cure inspired. And I got up to him like, oh my god, like that song I just performed, like so inspired by you. And as soon as I touched him, he was like, like he did that, and I was
Oh
like,
God.
fuck, I fucked it. I absolutely fucked it.
Did you reconcile?
I was like, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry.
Bless.
He was alright. He was like, I feel like I shouldn't be touching him like that. Like, why did I do that in the first place? What kind of things were you into when you were younger?
I've been through, I think, every phase you could ever imagine. Like, legit. Went through an emo phase. Went through a sports phase.
Really?
I went through a sports
Oh.
phase. Not of me doing sports, but like being obsessed with watching sports. Like,
Oh, fair.
such a bizarre thing. And then I went through a K-pop phase.
Sonically, where do you see like your sound like going to? Because like right now it's like, you know, super cool or DMB. Is there any plans
Direction.
of going?
I know I say this a lot in random places, whether it be TikTok or interviews or whatever. And I said this, I went through my emo phase. For some reason, I'm obsessed with being in that space. I'm not going to force it, I'm not going to try and shove my way into it, but I love everything emo, everything. Love
You love
Linkin
that.
Park, love My Chemical Romance, love it. And I know my music doesn't necessarily fit in there, but I don't
You'll
know.
find a way to like.
I would
I think it'll
love
be
to.
really interesting if like there was a way to kind of
Like
combine
somehow,
both.
I don't know how. I don't know how.
I think you can. I can see it happening.
We'll see. But growing up, that was it. Like I remember seeing Paramore at Reading.
Oh my
and
God,
that
I love
was
Paramore.
what.
Hayley
so
Williams.
good. No, she's the best. She's the
She's a
person.
favourite.
Literally, when I saw her, how much fun she was having on that stage, I was like, I have to do that one day.
So are we ever going to hear the full versions of little snippets we hear on TikTok all the time?
It's not like I'm trying to gatekeep or like, oh, I don't want you guys to have this, because I'm not, I'm not like that. I always love sharing, especially if I've worked on something. It's like, why work on something if you're not going to like deliver? But all in good time. I think you don't want to put out too much too quickly.
Yeah.
You've got to space out quite a nice,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm kind of working on doing, kind of finding the right balance of like
It's great.
sharing, but then not, it's kind of like little tease, like a lap dance.
Giving but not giving too much. Just like giving them a little tease.
It's like a tease.
Opinions on TikTok and like what it's done for you. Honest opinion.
That app single-handedly made me. It made me. It birthed me. It birthed this musical project anyway. Without it, I literally wouldn't even be an iota of where I am now, basically. So I have all my thanks must go towards TikTok. The app is hilarious. It's
App
hilarious.
is jokes.
It's hilarious.
I used to chat so much shit about TikTok. I'm never gonna be on TikTok, and
We
then
all
now
did.
I'm we all did, and then now I'm on it. Like
Now we all like to.
it just blesses. It just blesses. If you're a musician, it's like
So blessed.
like as soon as you get that one song, like calm.
It's the way to go. I always say this. Always say, here's the formula. If you're a musician and you want to get your music out, it's such a good way of doing it. If you find the formula and you get it right, because I'm not going to lie, it wasn't just like, oh, I posted it and it did well. Like, you can ask any single one of my friends. The year before, I was like practicing for this shit. Legit. I was
Really?
low key figuring out the formulas. Like, what works?
Oh
what
my
doesn't.
days! Wait, what?
I was fully trying to work out the TikTok.
The algorithm?
Yeah.
No, but fair, like fair.
Yeah, the algorithm, how it worked. I did so much
That's
research.
wild. That's just
Major respect.
Major respect, bro.
Major respect, bro. Thanks.
That's so mad.
No, it's a weird thing, but for me, I just felt like if I'm going to try using it as a way to kind of get my music out there,
Might as
then
well
I'm
do it
gonna
right.
might as well do it right. Like why do it like half-assed? I love how kind of different countries, like especially America, are like tuning into some of the British music that
Yeah.
they wouldn't or might not
Never
have
noticed
tapped
it.
into beforehand. I'm not saying that British
100%.
music wouldn't reach America, because obviously it does, but I think it's just so jokes seeing like Americans like properly bashing out SL. I think it's hilarious. I think it's great.
Yeah.
'Cause he deserves it. He deserves it and more. So I think it's just fantastic. I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
they love it.
How have your like friends and family reacted to like the success of your music and everything that's happening right now?
My friends, you know what? I didn't tell any of my friends about
Yeah, because
this.
you were telling me this like the last time, and you're like, yeah, no, like it's like no face, like
No
just
face,
no
no
one's.
case.
I
Because
was
you
like,
know what? For me, I felt the one thing that would hold me back if I ever tried to do it properly with music would be people I already knew listening to it. I don't know why. I don't know where in my subconscious it comes from to be like shy or embarrassed for my friends to listen to it. But for some reason I just was like, I don't want them to know about it, don't want them to
Oh, bless.
So yeah, early on I just didn't tell any of my friends. And
Now they're like, holy fuck, we're friends with PinkPantheress.
I don't know. To be fair, you know what? I try so hard to separate me from my whole artist like agenda. I don't know why. It's just I like them being separate.
Is it overwhelming at times and like?
It is I mean, this is what I always say. I think if you weren't in the era of internet or COVID, I think I'd feel way more overwhelmed and even probably stressed about it. I feel like I never like things going 0 to 100. You know when people say they woke up and their life changed? I'd hate that. I kind of like a nice gradual like gradient towards whatever happens. So for me it hasn't been too crazy, but I think it's just because everything's online and I try not to be online so much.
Yeah.
But if it was maybe not COVID and if it was like everyone's out all the time slash
And you like playing live.
yeah live gigs and stuff, then maybe it would be like a little bit. But no, I've been having a nice
That's
ride.
What are your influences with your music?
Okay.
Influencing you as a person,
Yeah.
you as a musician.
Okay.
Do the whole lot.
Lily Allen. Goes without saying.
We love that.
It just goes without saying, honestly. Cage Nada. I was, before I released under this project, I was using a lot of Cajunada type beats from YouTube.
I'm sick.
He's just the best. Go. We love him. He's literally amazing.
Sick.
Again, all the emo bands, every single one you can think of, like genuinely, they're probably in there somewhere. Good Charlotte, who is kind of constitutes under the whole emo pop punk kind of thing. I'm a big fan of horror films. Obviously, it doesn't take my music, but it kind of does.
No, come on, yeah.
But it kind of does, and I don't know what. I couldn't tell
Your
you.
favorite
what way.
horror film? Go.
Saw.
Ooh.
Saw.
She's that type of girl. What's the music you've been listening to at the moment?
Music at the moment. Oh my god, we were speaking about this, and I said, right, you
shout
got-
any artist.
Okay. This is so weird. I'm gonna just plug the most random selection of people.
Do it.
Ben Folds.
Oh.
If you've seen Over the Hedge,
Oh yeah.
Over the Hedge. I watched Over the Hedge the other day.
I'm gonna
Just
watch it
to
tonight.
relive my memories of a youth. Ben Folds, the guy that made like a lot of the songs for it, crazy talented, crazy cool. He's like, I don't know how, I honestly think he's like 50 years old. I don't know if he's still even making music like that. But what he did for that soundtrack was nuts. There are a lot of people from the London Underground I want to shout out because they're just doing great at the moment. There's an artist called Kaiwa. Listen to her.
Sick.
There's an artist called Len who just brought out a song called Devotion. I'm really plugging my... You need to listen to that song, it's fucking amazing. What about you? What was the last song you listened to?
I've been listening to this Japanese duo called By the End of Summer, and it's like this I feel like they're just like obsessed with like American football. It's like that whole like Midwest emo, like super guitar.
Yeah.
They're great.
I told you just over there, someone showed me American football. I remember being shook. Because
They're amazing.
I'm a really lazy listener of music. Like, I kind of only listen to music when it's shoved in my face, / I hear it somewhere. I won't actively look or like kind of look into playlists or anything. So when someone showed me American football, I was like, this is kind of what I've been wanting to find, but I just haven't.
Like the missing thing in your
the
playlist.
missing.
Dude, I'll send you some music I found.